conference.
Basketball on BTN is brought to you in part by State Farm. We exist to assist. Lights out in the Breslin Center for our Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineups, and we talked a little bit about Shep Garner at the top of the broadcast, Stephen, but how about the play of Brandon Taylor of late?
Yeah, Brandon Taylor has joined Garner in terms of the double-figure scoring, leading the team in rebounds and scoring, and he's going to need a big one today, Kevin.
16 straight games in doubles for Brandon Taylor for Michigan State, and the Spartans Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineup. Denzel Valentine's in doubles for 21 straight games. Bryn Forbes is leading the nation in three-point shooting.
Yeah, he's really been consistent throughout this Big Ten stretch and seems to be getting better as the regular season winds up.
Deontay Davis, a young man in there who's seen. Boy, excellent crew on hand today.
Yeah,
this one.
These guys will keep it all in check. They'll let them play, though. These guys will let them decide the game on the floor.
Deontay Davis controls the tip to Denzel Valentine, and here we go. Aaron Harris, the handoff to Valentine. Here's Bryn Forbes, pops out for three. A little bit strong. Costello diving for the rebound.
And there's that rebounding that you talked about, Kevin. Getting on the offensive glass early. Set play for Bryn Forbes. Brought him off a double screen. Just couldn't knock it down.
Here's Costello. You could argue he's the best rebounder in the Big Ten Conference, averaging 14.5 rebounds for every 40 minutes he plays. That's the best in the conference. Here's Valentine on the turnaround, using the window and the rebound to Jordan Dickerson of Penn State.
And if Shep Garner is going to guard Denzel Valentine, you're going to see that early and often. Valentine running down into the post area.
Josh Reeves, tremendous athleticism, hands off to Brandon Taylor, and now Garner. Shep Garner's been red hot. Here's Peyton Banks, the wraparound pass to Dickerson. In some trouble against Costello. Dickerson going to work with a left hand, a little bit strong, and the rebound tip to Costello.
I was impressed with Dickerson that time. I thought he was going to rush his opportunity. He did not.
Oh, what a lob ahead from Valentine to find Davis in transition.
Yeah, always head up at 6'5". Valentine can see the floor better than most point guards. And Deontay rewarded for his effort.
Fifth in the nation in assists, Denzel Valentine. Over 7 per game. There's Brandon Taylor launching the three. That's a little bit strong. And there's Costello again. Already 3 rebounds for Costello.
I think he got the message from Coach Izzo getting on the glass.
Davis inside with the hook. It's good. And Davis off to the hot start. All 4 points for Michigan State.
Davis is going to be a problem in the Big Ten. Length. He's young right now, still learning how to be consistent on the defensive end. But when you see moves like that, when he's comfortable in the post, he's going to be a problem.
11th straight start, and Davis starting off well as Garner skips into the corner to Banks. Banks, the step in deep 2, an air ball caught by Davis. And the Spartans on the run again, the lob to Costello. Tough catch. Harris able to grab the loose ball, and then it's out belonging to Penn State.
Wow, Pat Chambers getting all over Peyton Banks. Trying to get him to understand what he's expecting on the offensive end. Donovan Jack already at the scorer's table.
Garner weaving through the defense. Banks around the screen. Back out to Garner. Back-to-back 20-point games for Garner. The deep 3, and that rolls over the backboard.
See, one of the issues with Penn State is they don't have a lot of guys that can get to the rim off the bounce. They settle for a lot of contested threes, so when they're hitting them like they have in this 3-game win streak, they look good. But now you're up against a premier defensive ball club in Michigan State. Let's see how they respond to this.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the offensive prowess of this Michigan State team. They defend the 3 better than anybody else. And they rebound, as we mentioned, better than anybody else as Costello works his way to the rim for 2.
Seeing great patience between Costello and Davis on the block.
And you see early, Tom Izzo's team going inside, working into the paint, working to the post.
Yeah, they want to put some pressure on Penn State.
Reeves, a wild attempt as he got inside. Couldn't find anything with that. And the Spartans have Penn State off balance early as Valentine drives all the way to the rim. Donovan Jack in there with a rejection. Here's Forbes, the second chance for Michigan State. Can't get the roll. And the rebound cleared by Taylor.
Well, Brandon Taylor, that was a man-sized rebound amongst the trees.
Tough catch by Donovan Jack working against Costello. Left-handed hook is good. Speaking of a guy who's been playing well, averaging over 12 points in this 3-game winning streak.
And we've been waiting 3 years to see this Donovan Jack play. A guy that's confident on the offensive end, a much better athlete than given credit for. A block shot the last time down. If he can score in the post like that, it takes a lot of pressure off Penn State, who is perimeter-oriented.
Taylor for 3. Barely draws iron. Forbes the rebound. Forbes on the catch from Valentine. A 6-2 Michigan State ballgame.
The Spartans continue to put pressure on you. If you don't get back in transition, they get to the rim. But when you run back into transition, you have to come back out on the 3 because they'll shoot one early.
Nice screen by Davis. Harris can't hit. Offensive rebound. Costello back out to Valentine. Open 3. Davis clearing the glass again. Can't get it. There's Harris on the boards. Battling hard on the glass. But finally, Penn State able to pull it away.
Well, the Nittany Lions going to have to get 5 on the defensive glass every time. Probably not used to that, but they've got to understand that this is a relentless rebounding ball club.
Already 10 rebounds, rather, for Michigan State. Garner around the Taylor screen. And there's Costello, another rebound for Costello. That's 6 rebounds in the first 5 minutes.
That's what we expected when he got challenged physically.
Valentine with an official timeout. He was something with his eye, his left eye, a little poke. So he's going to have that looked at, and a timeout on the floor. Denzel Valentine. And with the love in the air from that just married shot, we welcome you back with Denzel Valentine, who is back on the court. After getting poked, he's okay. But a wholesale change in the lineup for Michigan State. Matt McQuaid on the floor. Tum Nairn out there for the first time. Gavin Schilling, Marvin Clark. 4 new Spartans out there. Devin Foster on the floor for the first time for Penn State as Nairn penetrates, and a whistle and a foul. Haven't seen much in the way of fouls yet. First one as the foul is called underneath.
That time Penn State trying to go to a zone defense, trying to change it up a little bit. They played so far off Nairn, he just got to the rim.
Boy, Denzel Valentine trying to bounce it off the back of a defender, but Donovan Jack was right there and ready to reject the shot.
A second block for Donovan Jack. I'm telling you, at 6'9", he's really, when he's aggressive on the defensive end, it seems to set up his offense.
Peyton Banks. Isaiah Washington trying to find some room to move. Gets into the paint, back to Jack with 10 to shoot. Tough catch for Julian Moore. Good pass along the baseline, and the reverse by Devin Foster.
That was great action, 2-man action. Devin Foster going along the baseline and able to lose his man.
There's Valentine with the ball fake, the 3. Wild, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Julian Moore. Michigan State really struggling from the floor. 3 for 15 to start.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of shots at the rim, however, based on those 5 offensive rebounds.
Peyton Banks floater caught underneath by Tum Nairn, and the Spartans looking to push again. Valentine, little hesitation. Back out to Nairn, who finds Clark for 3.
Great example of how much this team likes each other. Nairn not known for his outside shooting ability, but he could have taken a bounce and let it fly. Kicked it to his high school teammate, Clark, who knocks down a 3, and that's big for him because he struggled a little bit shooting the basketball.
Just a 7th made 3 this year, Stephen. Doesn't shoot it a lot, but able to cash in as Washington tries to answer. Clark flying in for the rebound.
See that typical Spartan basketball. Rebound and push.
The turnover the other way back to Penn State as Brandon Taylor will check in. Second turnover for the Spartans. And Brent Forbes back on the floor.
Watch the ball movement. Denzel goes baseline, kicks it out to Nairn. He doesn't even think about it. Kicks it right to Clark. Had those puppies set. That's why they lead the country in assists.
Spartans happy to have Tum Nairn back on the floor. We'll see how much he's able to go. It's been a limited time as they've eased him back into the lineup after that plantar fasciitis. Had him on the bench for 7 games.
I tell you what, I've had that. That is a painful injury.
Foster with a bone-crushing screen at the top to get free, and he gets to the rim for his 4th point.
Devin Foster can take contact. Big upper body, strong player. Goes to his left very well. So doing a good job here early on.
The dribble handoff to McQuaid. 15 to shoot. Nairn finds Clark at the foul line. And Clark with 5 bench points.
see classic breakdown of a zone defense. Bring Clark from the weak side and bring him at that Big Ten emblem. You get the ball there against the zone, it's lights out after that.
Evan Foster's had the hot hand, 4 points as he finds Banks for 3. Peyton Banks a little strong. Good box out by McQuaid to keep him from the rebound. And Nairn pushing, showing the speed with the lob and just unable to connect on the other end with Schilling. Here comes Foster on the drive. That's no good, and a foul's going to be called on Julian Moore, his first.
This action favors Michigan State in terms of getting up and down the floor. If Foster converts that, however...
0 for 2. Valentine 0 for 6 to start this ball game.
Yeah, so they're getting some good looks, just not converting early. And if statistics or averages come back in fold, they'll start to get hot here soon enough.
Entry pass from McQuaid to Costello goes wide. Third turnover. Tom Izzo, you saw the look on his face. Perplexed might be a good way to describe it.
He's looking at McQuaid, and McQuaid, they say, oh, well, they're not freshmen at this time of year. Yes, they still are.
Taylor ran into some traffic. The shot is short. The rebound tipped over to Valentine. Valentine looking to push.
Sorry about that, Kevin. I actually like that shot by Taylor. Got inside the paint area and forced the defense to react.
Oh, what a catch and a finish by Costello.
Valentine's vision is unbelievable. I mean, he hit Costello. Watch where Costello catches. He throws it high, ladies and gentlemen, because he's a big man. So all he has to do is catch and continue his motion to the rim. That's so subtle, but if Denzel Valentine doesn't throw the ball high that time, that might not be an and-one opportunity.
As a man who spent some time distributing the basketball on a court, how hard is that as you're transitioning to be able to hit him in transition at a high level?
Well, that's just a high-level, elite-level point guard play from Denzel Valentine to have the presence of mind to throw it in traffic like that, helping his big finish at the rim. I mean, that's a subtle thing, but it's really important.
5.6 rebounds for Costello as Penn State turns it over. Unforced error. Garner's pass right through the hands of Reeves. And Matt Costello over the last 3 games. The minutes, how about the points and rebounds? 14 points, 8 rebounds. And he's got 5 points and 6 boards in this one.
Well, some senioritis is kicking in. A sense of urgency. That's why you like seniors on the floor. Been here, done that. They know what to expect.
Valentine. First bucket for Denzel Valentine's at 3.
Well, and we figured that they would get hot because they're going to have multiple opportunities, Kevin.
Timeout taken by Penn State with Michigan State opening up its largest.
That's his feet as quickly as any guard in college basketball. So when they're set like that and he catches in rhythm, usually a good result.
Peyton Banks directing traffic for Penn State and a whistle away from the ball. Like Deontay Davis battling down low with Brandon Taylor, and Davis picks up his first personal foul.
And I'm surprised that Davis was that aggressive in terms of guarding Taylor without the basketball. He's got Taylor by 4 inches. So even if Taylor catches, he's still got to finish over the top.
Tough catch for Peyton Banks as he sends it back out to Shep Garner. Garner would leave for Dickerson. Dickerson inside, in traffic, rejected.
Jordan Dickerson just taking too long to gather himself. Got the ball in pretty good position, but this defense is going to swarm quickly when the ball goes into the paint like that.
Here's Garner. Working against Harris. Got open for 3, and Shep Garner, he's dangerous, and if he gets hot, Penn State can get right back in this game.
And they need him to get hot, Kevin, because no one else is really stepping up. We saw Foster have those 2 quick layups, but they've really struggled to get high-quality shots.
Stay on this end with Michigan State. Shep Garner came in 14 of 26 from 3 over the last 3 games, and not coincidentally, all 3 of those games have been wins by Penn State.
And, this Penn State team, look at that shake. Aaron Harris over in Lansing, Michigan, instead of East Lansing after that shake.
Forbes, wide open 3. You cannot leave him that open. He'll drain it every time.
And that's a great job by the Spartans. Getting inside the zone, looking weak side, putting in my opinion, the best shooter in college basketball on that side. It's going to be canceled Christmas after that.
49.4% from three. Taylor in traffic with the spin. A little bit strong. Rebound tipped out to Michigan State. Ellis on the run. Alvin Ellis off the Michigan State bench. The no look to the baseline. Costello spinning, and he's fouled by Jordan Dickerson.
And you notice how the Spartans, all of them, whether they have the basketball, are looking for Forbes in that fast break situation. Alvin Ellis looked over the defense and swung it cross court. So Forbes, very fortunate that his teammates look for him consistently.
Donovan Jack back in. He's defending the inbound. Valentine against Foster. Here's Forbes. Michigan State has its last three shots from the floor. Off the curl, Harris makes it 4 out of the last 4 for Michigan State.
That was such a good execution. The pin down. Costello bringing Aaron Harris over the top. Costello laid the defender out. Harris wide open for the jumper.
13-3 run for Michigan State. Taylor found some room on the baseline, rejected by Davis. Jack follows with an air ball hook, and it's Harris the rebound. Valentine, Forbes, 3, up, no, but a foul.
The Spartans put so much pressure on you each and every time. They're pushing it, looking to push. Brent Forbes is running hard on the wing. Donovan Jack, a big, not used to contesting on the three-point shot. Momentum carries into a foul.
And a big foul it was for Penn State, because that's number 2, Stephen, on Donovan Jack, and that'll likely sit him down for the remainder of this first half.
And he's been good on the defensive end up until that point. 2 blocks already on the game, so his length and presence are going to be missed.
Forbes at 82% this year at the line. Here comes Julian Moore replacing Donovan Jack. Moore didn't play on Thursday with a bit of a tweak to the knee. Back out there today. 3 for 3 for Bryn Forbes. And a 6-point performance so far for Bryn Forbes. And the crowd starting to get into it. At the behest of Denzel Valentine.
Now he smacked the floor. Trying to get it. They're trying to put this game to rest early. Penn State's got to be very careful of their shot selection in the next 3 possessions.
Garner throws it away. Valentine with the intercept. Valentine on the push. Found Forbes in transition. Calendar talk.
I know, right?
Get burned on that comment once every 4 years for some reason. Devin Foster will bring it up.
It's got to be a set play here.
And a foul underneath as Marvin Clark, a little extracurricular contact with Brandon Taylor.
Well, that's hand-to-hand combat down there between Clark and Taylor. He's second time Brandon Taylor's drawn a foul trying to post up. Michigan State, as we know, just physical.
Shep Garner. Backs it out now to Devin Foster with Penn State down 28-9. Just 2 for their last 11 from the floor.
It's going to be difficult to beat a good defensive team by just putting it on the deck, trying to create space.
Deep 3 for Garner. Gives Penn State a little life. 6 points for Garner, but they're down 16.
Yeah, see, Michigan State can live with that. You know, that was Steph Curry range right there. And he's the only one in the world at this point that can shoot over 60% from that range.
Offensive rebound once more for the Spartans, but it's taken away by Devin Foster. Foster ripping it out of the hands of Aaron Harris. Foster going end-to-end, and Foster with a pair. He's got 6.
Yeah, Foster's doing a good job putting his shoulder into Costello to negate his ability to get off the floor. That's a savvy move.
He's been limited the last 3 games for Penn State. Didn't play in one of them. Didn't score in the other 2. So a nice performance off the bench for Devin Foster today.
Yeah, because see, you mentioned Donovan Jack had been playing very well in the 3-game win streak. He's out of the game with foul trouble.
Costello working his way to the line. This is the last bucket for Penn State a moment ago.
Good defense there, double teaming the basketball, and Devin Foster strong with the rock, and then watch the shoulder into Costello. Kind of takes the bump so Costello can't get off the floor easily. Devin Foster doing a good job here being aggressive.
And foul problems now for Penn State in the post. 2 on Dickerson and 2 on Jack. So that's going to put the onus on young Julian Moore for the remaining 6:52 of this first half to really hold down that middle.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him because he doesn't have quite the physicality yet to bang with his Costello consistently.
Michigan State with another opportunity thanks to the offensive rebound. They've out-rebounded Penn State 21-9. Valentine a lob to Costello for the flush.
Wow. They called that play where Costello was setting up. Non-verbal communication between he and Valentine. Beautiful.
8 points, 6 rebounds for Costello. Here's Taylor in the paint. The hook shot is up and good. His first 2 points after starting 0 for 5.
I like what Brandon Taylor's starting to do in this game. He's trying to establish himself inside and then move out.
Talk about that physical play down low. Costello having his way right now with Julian Moore.
Yeah, Julian Moore is going to be pretty good. He's just not strong enough right now to bang back and forth with Costello.
Costello, 10 points, 7 rebounds. He's already had 7 double-doubles this year. Very close to another one as Garner's finger rolls left short. There's another rebound for Costello, number 8. Valentine, the dish to Ellis, finds Clark down low. Valentine saves it, but back to Garner. Great effort by Valentine. Garner driving to the other end, and he's fouled. He'll head to the line for a pair.
If Shep Garner lays down a bounce pass, Devin Foster has an easy layup that time.
Well, this seems like a perfect way to slip in our Firestone Complete Auto Care hustle play of the game, because this is all hustle.
It is all hustle. When your best player is your hardest worker or willing to give his body up, it's infectious for his team.
Shep Garner, 77% at the line this year as Nairn returns. Deontay Davis back in. Gavin Schilling back in for the Spartans.
A little platoon action for Michigan State.
And back on the floor for Penn State, Jordan Dickerson, the senior, back out there with 2 fouls. Matt Chambers rolling the dice a little bit, get this veteran back in the middle.
Yeah, I think he's seeing that they're not competing on the glass with Dickerson on the bench, so he's got to come back in, because if not, this game could get too far away from them where they feel like they could come back. That's what Michigan State does to you, though. They put so much pressure on you, and they've gotten to the free throw line a little bit better here in the first half than what Coach Izzo was telling us before the game. So besides not shooting the ball well from the field, Spartans have been impressive.
There, Ellis with the touchdown low to Davis. Re-entry to Davis, turns, and the shot up and good for Davis, who's got 6, and they went right after Dickerson with those 2 fouls.
They did, and he got it the first time, Kevin, didn't like what he had, threw it out. His teammates gave him another time to repost. Really good patience on the offensive end.
Got a whistle and a foul away from the ball. This one's going on Brandon Taylor, and that'll be his second, and now a technical foul. Pat Chambers is being restrained at the moment. And now free throws coming. Brandon Taylor with that arm, that's what got the foul call.
And I think what happened, Eads was on the other side of the court, and he saw it. The referee along the baseline, I believe that was Bo Borowski in that position. He didn't quite see it, and so I believe that may have been what set Pat Chambers off.
Valentine going to have another couple of free throws after the second technical. 4 in total for Valentine and Michigan State. Well, one thing you want to be careful with if you're Penn State, and I'm sure Coach Chambers would say the same thing, you don't want to lose the confidence as a team that you've garnered from the last 3 wins by getting blown out against one of the top 10 teams in college basketball in Michigan State, because there's still games to play, and for Penn State a chance to move out of that spot where they'd have to play on the first day of the Big Ten tournament.
Not only that, Kevin, but with 6 conference wins, this is the most conference wins that Pat Chambers' team has had thus far in the Big Ten. So they're really building on something here, a lot of positivity. So all of these are huge for them down the stretch.
And Bryn Forbes with the 3, adding a little insult to the injury. 41-18, Michigan State has stretched this one out. And with Pat Chambers gone, looks like Keith Urgo manning the ship right now for Penn State.
Yeah, Keith Urgo going to try to give them some kind of confidence and put them in a position to try to cut back into this lead.
Devin Foster, a little spark. 9 points off the bench for Foster.
Peyton Banks has got to come up with that pass. He's trying to cut back into the lead on the road against an elite ball club like the Spartans. You got to take advantage of those opportunities.
Nairn around the screen from Davis. Ellis with 7 to shoot. Back out, Davis, deep 2. It's good. Oh, if he's got that kind of range, you're right. The Big Ten's in a lot of trouble as he develops.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, 17-foot jumper made it look easy.
And a foul is going to be called. Count the bucket, but a foul on the other end on Donovan Jack. Timeout on the floor. 3:50 remaining in the first. All Spartans has just picked up his 3rd personal foul.
And like you mentioned, they were rolling the dice to get him back in the game because they didn't want to let this game get too far away. And some off-ball contact results in Jack being on the bench.
The 2 is Schilling on that trip. And Michigan State started this game 5 of 18 from the floor. They've gone 10 for their last 12. And now shooting 50% from the floor.
They've gotten it out on the fast break, and Bryn Forbes has ignited them from long range.
Tough shot there for Isaiah Washington. The air ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Michigan State, though, and it'll stay with Penn State. Stay tuned. The State Farm halftime report is coming up. Dave Repson, Mike DeCourcy, and Jess Settles will be along from our Chicago studio. They've got the State Farm halftime report, getting you caught up on everything from around the conference, and a look ahead of a very busy day on BTN. Tough catch on the inbound by Devin Foster, who's had the hot hand early. Foster muscling his way inside against Tum Tum Nairn, and Nairn picks up the foul, his first.
Nice set inbounds play to get Devin Foster at the top of the key one-on-one. He's able to overpower Nairn and put him into the basket area.
It's like the old Chicago Cubs College of Coaches over there. He's got several guys trying to fill the role, and Keith Urgo handling most of the head coaching as Patrick Chambers was ejected on back-to-back technicals. Shep Garner lost it off of Michigan State, and it will stay with Penn State.
Shep Garner takes a lot of chances. That time he was very fortunate. I thought it went off his leg there, but he's got to really force the issue because Penn State struggles to score the basketball.
8 for 26 today as a team. And there's a foul going to be called on McQuaid.
So, see, it's always interesting when a coach gets tossed like that and Tom Izzo looking around like, wait a minute, do I need to get one as well?
There's Garner going to work. Garner driving all the way to the rim. Can't get it to go. Schilling the rebound. Garner just 2 for 6 from the floor this afternoon. Valentine in transition. Pops the 3.
Always a threat when he has the basketball. You've got to pick him up from the parking lot, and you got to pick up Bryn Forbes from his apartment. Guys have unlimited range and got the green light.
Valentine with 9 as that one's knocked out of bounds to Michigan State.
Well, Denzel Valentine, Peyton Banks slow to get out on him, and that's one of the easier threes you'll see all night. Walk in, top of the key 3.
Got a whistle, and the foul's going to be called on Devin Foster. That is his first. And free throws the rest of the way with that stack of fouls that was called on Penn State. 2 shots from here on out for Michigan State.
And what do you do if you're Penn State right now? You're looking up at a 26-point deficit. You're trying to change defenses. Donovan Jack's on the bench. Brandon Taylor's on the bench right now. Reeves as well. So Keith Ergo, who is manning the ship right now, just trying to find any kind of run left in them, Kevin, to kind of cut this within 20.
Michigan State,
Kobe Wallenman off the bench for the first time today for Michigan State.
Hey, Kobe Wallenman, I'm going to be friends with him. That's a young man that's going to be doing something very special in the field of medicine one of these days soon.
Stephen Bardo always palling up to the guys with the high upside.
You better believe it. I might need a loan in a little while.
That's why Stephen has refused to be friends with me over the years. Chef Garner going to work against Valentine with 12 to shoot. Here's Foster. Step back 3. And a rebound pulled down by Javon Bess, and a foul is going to be called on Brandon Taylor, and that is 3 on Taylor.
And I give that one to Devin Foster. Just it's a tough shot right there. He had been getting to the rim and forcing the issue defensively. That's a tough break for Brandon Taylor right there. It looked like both guys just going after the rock. Notice it's gotten a lot closer, though, in the way that the game's been officiated since Chambers got sent to the locker room. A lot closer calls here.
Penn State with major foul trouble. Donovan Jack with 3. Brandon Taylor with 3. Dickerson with 2. And a foul is going to be called on Dickerson, pushing on the free throw, and that's number 3 on Dickerson.
Well, Dickerson talking to Bo Borowski, and he made the motion that Dickerson took 2 hands and threw. I think it was Gavin Schilling. Threw Gavin Schilling away. So a lot of frustration on this end of the floor for Penn State.
Meanwhile, Michigan State having trouble cashing in. 10 for 17 this half at the line. And Penn State's given them plenty of opportunities with all those fouls. Jack, Taylor, Dickerson, all with 3. No head coach. Patrick Chambers ejected on back-to-back technicals earlier in the half. And now 3 players with 3 fouls. Penn State knew it was a rough road trip to begin with, coming to Michigan State. But it's got real rough faster than they wanted it to.
You have to get through the first 15 minutes in the Breslin Center without getting popped in the nose or down 15, because once that happens, this Michigan State team doesn't let up. They don't relax. They play even harder when they can see blood in the water.
Valentine, tough catch by Schilling, finds McQuaid for 3, and Matt McQuaid hits the 3.
We have big men like Gavin Schilling and Costello that can pass the way that they do out of the post, and the way this team shoots the basketball. You really got to pick your poison against Michigan State.
3rd rebound for Valentine to go with 9 points and 4 assists. Looking for double figures. Can't get that one to fall. And the rebound ripped down by Julian Moore. Michigan State 7 of 12 in this first half from 3. State Farm halftime report coming up as Shep Garner got an open look and is able to hit that one. Garner with 11. And a timeout taken by Michigan State, and the Spartans and Nittany Lions will regroup with 1:03 to play in the first.
And we were hoping to see that those guys would come out today and have a similar start, because when you're on the road in this venue, you've got to withstand their first and second push. If you can do that, get in the second half, feel better about yourself. But right now, Penn State, serious uphill battle.
And unfortunately for Penn State, Brandon Taylor has more fouls than points. 3 fouls and 2 points. Valentine with 6 to shoot. Valentine working on Garner. 2 to shoot, and he walked with it. Good defense by Shep Garner.
It was. Shep Garner got his body into Valentine, nullified his height advantage. Like Valentine was trying to get to a point to elevate over the top, but Garner, good job of getting into his body.
A 4.5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock as we wind down this first half. 9 to shoot for Washington. 4 to shoot. Garner hoists a deep 3, a wild shot. Didn't have to shoot it quite that quickly. Did the crowd bait him?
Yes, they did. That's the second time I've seen that here in the first half. Players, especially guards, quick glance up to the shot clock. They've got to know, you got to throw something towards the rim if you're Penn State.
They're looking to the bench, Stephen, to see what to call here. Reeves has to bounce it in, and it's deflected out of bounds by Schilling.
But Julian Moore, that play was for him. You got to act like you want the ball. He's getting bounced right now. You got to be more physical than that.
And that's a shot clock violation. Well done by Michigan State time and time again on the inbound.
They are. And then, you know, there's an old adage. You either hit first or get hit.
Valentine with 1 second. Does he get the shot off? He does, but it is not good. And halftime is here. 52-27. Michigan State dominating this first half. Stay tuned. Dave, Mike, and
look, they have nothing to lose, Kevin. They've got to come out and look at 4-minute segments. They can win each 4-minute segment and get down to the last 4 minutes within striking distance. That will do wonders for their confidence.
Well, they've got to be cognizant of the fact that they've got 2 games remaining, both winnable, Northwestern and Illinois, and a chance to not be playing on that opening day of the Big Ten tournament's got to be great motivation for this group.
I totally agree, and it also is just a sign that they've continued to believe in what Pat Chambers is doing. They've gotten better and better. 6 conference wins is the most under Chambers.
Oh, what a rejection by Davis. Garner still down in traffic as Peyton Banks and company with 8 seconds to shoot. Garner with 5 to shoot. Banks, 2 on the shot clock, 1 to shoot, and Banks hits the 3.
Peyton Banks is very fortunate. Brent Ford doesn't like it, but he was right there defensively. Michigan State just playing on another level. You know, they're worried about certain things that most teams, they would love to have those issues.
You know, we talked with Tom Izzo before the game. He said, you know what, we need to be better rebounding the basketball. That's one area that we've slipped a little bit of late. Their rebound margin, of course, came in at 11.3 on the plus side to lead the nation. That margin today is plus 13.
So they're getting after it, getting on the offensive glass. And when you push the basketball as quickly as they do, you get on the glass like they do, you shoot the ball from three-point land the way the Spartans do in terms of nation. Well, the best in the nation. It's tough wrestling.
Josh Reeves got the roll. He's got his first 2. And Penn State off to a good start to the second half.
Josh Reeves does a lot of things besides score the basketball for them. Very good defender. You know, they've been 4-1 since he's come back to join the team since that bout with Mono.
Costello from the elbow, can't get it to go. Davis battling hard for the board. The rebound will stay on this end, out off Taylor. See the numbers for the Spartans. Big Ten ranks, tops in scoring margin, 3-point field goal, rebounding margin, assists, second in points. I mean, they do it all.
They do it all. And Coach Izzo's trying to find things to get angry with his team about, just because they're playing so well. And he said they're such a together group. You can see that by over 20 assists per game.
Valentine averages over 7 of those himself. The deep 2 for Denzel Valentine moves him into double figures with 11.
Just takes what the defense gives him, not forcing the issue. Always has his head up looking for his teammates. If he's got an opportunity, he takes advantage of it.
Garner trying to shake Harris. Ball taken away. Valentine with a steal. 2-on-1. Valentine trying to dish to Costello. Nice little tip to knock it away. And Peyton Banks will move the other way for Penn State. Here's Garner tiptoeing out for the three, and he hits in transition.
Now Penn State starting to get a little loose on the offensive end. Got a couple threes to drop. See if they can scramble a little bit more defensively in this matchup zone that they're employing right now.
But as you said, what do they have to lose at this point? You're down big, you're on the road, tough place to play against a really good basketball team. Why not let it go out and let it fly?
Yeah, just chip away at it. Just chip.
Valentine's three is good. And that slams the door on the rally.
Well, he just uses the big, goes right, defense goes under, comes left, he gets comfortable. They don't respond quickly enough. It's the best player in college basketball, in my opinion, Denzel Valentine.
14 points, and he struggled to start 4 for 11 from the floor. He's 0 for his first 6. And there's a foul going to be called on Brandon Taylor, and that is number 4 on Taylor.
Brandon Taylor. Let's take a look at Valentine. Well, I'll go right. I'll come back left. Costello knows to move down the floor a little bit so that the defender has more space to cover to get back to Valentine. Those subtle things between Valentine and Costello make them so deadly in that situation.
Here's Valentine. Costello finds Davis for the two-handed flush.
Just some clinics. Cutting up the defense. High-low action. Costello seen over the defense, and Davis the beneficiary.
17 assists on 20 made buckets today for Michigan State.
Par for the course, Michigan State. 72% of their buckets come from via the assist.
Garner steps back. Deep jumper won't go. Offensive rebound, Jordan Dickerson. Dickerson gets rid of it to Jack. The reverse not going to go. Costello clears the board. His 9th rebound. And a technical foul has been assessed on the Penn State bench. Harris hits the first. He's got one more. That technical prior to the timeout was not on the guy in charge right now, Keith Urgo, but it came from
A bit better right now than I remember them being at this juncture.
technical foul. Shots coming here from Michigan State as Aaron Harris hits the first. He's got one more. That technical prior to the timeout was not on the guy in charge right now, Keith Urgo, but it came from one of the guys sitting on the bench. So it was a bench technical, not a technical on Keith Urgo, who is in place of Patrick Chambers, who was ejected with back-to-back technicals at the 4:53 mark in the first half.
Just an indication.
Oh my, the foul on Jordan Dickerson interrupts what would have been a spectacular highlight for Michigan State.
That might be a highlight anyway, just because Aaron Harris was so high along the baseline. Set play. Aaron Harris comes in, is going to bring the hammer. If Jordan Dickerson doesn't keep him away from the rim.
They're going to look at this one more time.
Oh my goodness, he was up the stairs, and I'm so glad.
And they've looked and said it is a flagrant one. So the flagrant one is called on Dickerson. 4 fouls on Dickerson now. And the problems mount for Penn State. See the shove.
It's a good call. I understand what Davis is doing, trying to prevent the dunk. I'm just glad Harris didn't get hurt.
One more for Aaron Harris.
When you're in the air like that, going for a dunk, you're in a tough position. He was able to land with no problem.
63-35. Dickerson down with 4 fouls. Taylor with 4 fouls. Jack back on the floor with 3 fouls. There have been 3 technical fouls assessed to the Penn State bench. 2 to head coach Pat Chambers, who was ejected. We got a flagrant 1 now assessed. Things have gotten a little ragged.
They have, and Penn State came out of the huddle halftime break shooting pretty well.
And Costello with the double-double now on that rebound. The miss by Valentine is rebounded by Washington for Penn State. Costello's 8th double-double of the year.
It's like a set play to get Shep Garner coming on a dribble exchange.
Now Brandon Taylor, somebody else is going to have to step up and score. Garner may be one guy. Who will be the other? Moore for 3. Too strong, and a foul underneath going against Costello. Costello with his first. Bryn Forbes returning along with Gavin Schilling. Also Marvin Clark Jr. back on the floor.
So they go from really big Costello and Davis going out to Schilling and Clark, much smaller.
Garner knifing to the rim. Nice play. A little English by Shep Garner.
That was up over the back of his head going away from the rim.
And a hold underneath. Julian Moore had a piece of Gavin Schilling on that wraparound pass from Forbes. Second on Moore.
Shep Garner putting pressure on McQuaid there. That's a beautiful finger roll over the top, the back of his shoulder.
McQuaid attacking. No look to Schilling, rejected, but a foul. Boy, Donovan Jack aggressive with those 3 fouls. Now he has 4.
Shep Garner's got to be careful. He's talking to John Higgins. I know they're frustrated. I know they thought that was all ball. You got to play through and keep going.
71% free throw shooter. Schilling missing the first. Peyton Banks returns. Josh Reeves returns. That bench getting perilously thin right now for Penn State. You've got Jack, Taylor, and Dickerson all saddled with 4 fouls.
It seemed to happen really quickly, too. They started out, Penn State they hit a couple threes. Looked like they're going to get some rhythm. Michigan State, they're just relentless in their pressure.
Foster around the Moore screen. 20 on the shot clock as Garner looks at Forbes, trying to get it down low to the block. Finds Moore. Moore, the right-hander over Schilling, and it rims out.
Good move by Moore. Looked like very comfortable where he got to his spot. He couldn't fall for it.
Penn State 14 of 42 from the floor, 33% shooting. Michigan State's at 49% this afternoon. 9 to shoot for Valentine. Valentine with the 3. And Denzel Valentine with 17 points. He's in 4 from behind the arc.
And at one point here in this game, he was 1 of 7 from the field. And now we talked about he would find his range because he gets so many opportunities.
Peyton Banks staring up at Penn State's biggest deficit of this ball game. Almost lost it to Valentine. 7 on the shot clock. Garner attacking McQuaid, and McQuaid with a foul on the floor as he went by him. And Garner beat McQuaid, and McQuaid just reached out as he went by and grabbed his back.
Well, that's a good job, because a lot of times we'll see players settle for a contested 3 in that situation. When you put it on the deck and get to the rim, you can put pressure on the defense and good things happen.
Davis Zimgulis off the bench for the first time today for Penn State, the 6'6" freshman. Ellis on the floor once more for Michigan State. Banks driving inside, and Banks draws the contact and the foul. And a couple of free throws coming up. Marvin Clark with the foul. Our game summary: Patrick Chambers ejected in the first half. Denzel Valentine, after a slow start, has gotten it going, and no surprise, Michigan State sharing the basketball. 17 assists, 21 makes.
And they average 20.5 per game, so they're well above that average. And it's just so fun to see a team that likes each other and shares the basketball. Ball movement is almost a lost art in our game, and I love it when you see teams that understand the importance of sharing the basketball, making the ball move before the defense can respond.
Free throw disparity is large in this game. Michigan State 16 of 24. Penn State 2 for 4. One of the things Tom Izzo told us, wanted his team to do a better job of getting to the line. They've certainly done that, although the 3 technical fouls have helped their chances of getting to the line.
That's true. And, you know, they got Deonta Davis, got Costello, they got Denzel Valentine in the post early, kind of established what they were trying to do.
Garner, the deep 3. Not going to go. Rebound tipped out off Moore's left hand. It'll belong to Michigan State.
Frustration starting to show. Peyton Banks and Chef Garner not quite on the same page and letting each other know about it.
Also trickle it back out to Nairn. Tum finds Clark. Now the entry to Schilling. Deep in the block. Schilling had good position, but he couldn't get it to go. And then there's a whistle and a foul coming the other way. Clark flying in, trying to get the rebound, and he picks up his 3rd.
Yeah, Davin Schilling had great position. I mean, he had Julian Moore almost all the way under the bucket. Just seemed like he rushed it a little bit.
Ton of work before he got that pass to get that kind of position. Garner. Penn State has not scored in nearly 3 minutes as knifing to the rim, Devin Foster. But a foul on Ellis and a timeout on the floor. 67-37. Michigan State by Illinois, Penn State on Wednesday, then Thursday 4 games, Friday 4 games. March Madness right around the corner as Zimbulis leans in for the jumper. That won't go. And the rebound to Marvin Clark Jr. And Michigan State on the push with Nairn to Forbes in transition for 3.
Well, they really find Brent Forbes in that situation. It's almost like he's a secondary runner. So there's a player that runs before him that sucks the defense down. And then Forbes comes in after him and gets set on that wing 3.
Is there a better 3-point shooter in transition in the country than Brent Forbes?
I'm not sure, because you see how fast he got set. Defensively, Penn State, that was Isaiah Washington, and closed out very quickly. It's still too late.
Forbes is at 4 of 6 from 3, but 4 of his last 4 from 3. Started 0 for 2. Foster and a foul on Nairn. Back-to-back fouls on Nairn. That's his 3rd and a 1-and-1 opportunity now for Penn State.
I want to see Tum Nairn finish out the top 5. And I got to make a mention of Malcolm Hill. If he wasn't heading the MASH unit, that is the University of Illinois this season, he might be in contention. He's had a heck of a season as well.
Devin Foster good on the first free throw. He's in double figures now with 10. And now 11 for Foster. His high is 13.
Now as you look at the Big Ten starting to come down the stretch, and we saw the remaining games early in the telecast. But as we look at teams that are playing well, Kevin, I'm not so sure there's anybody playing as well as Michigan State right now. We've seen Maryland struggle. We've seen Iowa struggle here as of late. Indiana's playing a lot better. But I tell you what, the Spartans, to me, the depth, the ability to shoot the 3, and their rebounding prowess take away a lot of mistakes.
Rebounding prowess shown right there, as illustrated by Marvin Clark Jr. Dominating the glass today, 37-22, a 15-rebound margin difference as Clark travels to turn that one over.
I knew Coach Izzo was wanting to focus on that. They got after him in practice, and they've responded. And it's hard when you're up this big. It's really hard to get on your guys like that. That's why you see Izzo just sitting back after the turnover. You usually see him stomping the floor or whatever, but he knows how hard his guys have played, and they're playing together as well.
Well, after a very slow start, too.
Yeah.
They struggled in the first 5-6 minutes of this ball game, but turned it on and have not let up. Washington with a jump stop in the lane. And the air ball caught by Valentine.
Well, Washington, he did everything right. And then just pulled the trigger on the jump.
Davis leaning in on Banks. Banging his way to the baseline. And another two-handed stump for Deontay Davis.
Well, he is getting better and better. We're seeing him shoot a face-up jumper. We've seen him with a jump hook. That time he avoids the contact, goes in for the hammer. Deontay Davis. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be something.
Shep Garner's three. Rebounded by Valentine. That's 6 rebounds for Denzel Valentine. Harris left alone for the open three. Diving for it is Nairn, trying to poke it through the traffic. Bodies everywhere. And the tie-up will keep it on this end of the floor.
Well, look at Tom Izzo. He's got a huge smile on his face. Guys are getting after it. Watch Deontay Davis. Just feels where the defense is. Peyton Banks cannot keep him from where he wants to go. And Davis, only a freshman. Very impressive.
Tom Izzo liked that. He loved Tum Nairn diving on the floor in a 72-39 game.
Tum's trying to round back into shape. He's going to be key for Michigan State's run in the tournament if he can get healthy.
Good cross-court pass to find Harris for the open three. Left that one short. And Washington with a rebound.
I'm looking at Tum, and I can still tell that plantar fasciitis is bothering him. He's still got another gear that he can kick up to when he's fully healthy.
Not sure you'll be fully healthy without a long period of really almost inactivity on that.
Sure.
But you see Tum still able to contribute. Look at this. Just terrific effort. Fighting it. You would never know by watching that highlight, Stephen, that man's team was up that big.
Yeah, and he's loving it. That's a year's worth of drilling into them. Get on the floor. Get after the loose balls. We got to come up with the 50-50 balls. And you get to late February where it matters most, and your guys do it instinctively regardless of the score.
One more for Reeves after the second foul on Costello.
I think Josh Reeves is going to have quite a career here as well. More of a utility guy. Not known for much scoring at this point. I'm sure he'll get better at that. But his presence really means a lot to this Nittany Lion club.
Next year, this Penn State team gets an influx of high-level talent out of Roman Catholic High School in Philadelphia, same high school that Shep Garner went to. The top team in the Catholic League in Philadelphia this year. 3 terrific players coming into Penn State next year. Pat Chambers' best recruiting class by far. And one of the things Pat Chambers said when he took the Penn State job, I have what it takes to get this team back into Philadelphia from a recruiting standpoint, which has got to be key for the success of this program moving forward.
Oh, there's no question about it. And, you know, Philly is an underrated city in terms of high school talent. And when you can get Penn State on the map in the city of Philadelphia, you will have an influx of talent each and every year.
Davis with his most productive game in conference play, 14 points. His high this year is 16 against Eastern Michigan.
Well, he just checked Josh Reeves coming off. Put a little chicken wing into him and slow him down.
Garner on the baseline. The fadeaway rattles home. And Shep Garner's been the bright spot today for Penn State. He has 18.
Well, Shep's one of the few on this team can create his own shot off the bounce. They will drive Nairn off of him and then pull up.
Valentine the three. A little bit strong, but there's an offensive rebound for Aaron Harris. The dump down to Davis, and he'll get his chance to go to the line. Now, you had Dickerson and you had Taylor in there. It's Taylor's 5th foul. He fouls out as we've reached a timeout in East Lane. Just fouled out for Penn State. He had 16 straight games in double figures. That streak is broken. Fouls out with 2 points and 3 rebounds.
Yeah, he looks shell-shocked on the bench as well, just kind of wondering what happened. And Michigan State is what happened. So they are deep, physical, fast, and they're just playing so well together.
Jack with the rebound. Davis with 15 points, one off tying his career high. 8:10 to play. Penn State down on the road by 32. Donovan Jack in foul trouble all day long. Can't get that one to go. A whistle and a foul coming behind. And committing the foul is Devin Foster behind the play, his second. As Javon Bess returns for Michigan State. Michigan State now in the bonus, so we'll march to the other end for the 1-and-1. And a lot of free throws to be shot down the final 7 minutes of this one.
Yeah, because Michigan State's not going to let up. They're going to continue to put pressure on Penn State on both ends of the floor. Rebounding tip. Looking for their offense.
Valentine with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Big Ten's leading scorer with one more. He's got 19. Kyle Arns checks in for Michigan State. Also in for the first time, Matt Van Dyke. Valentine and Harris sit down.
Oh, Michigan State, they are deep, but when they start beating teams like this, some of those guys that don't get a chance to play that often get extended minutes, and it's good to see.
Here's Banks driving to the rim, can't get it to go. Tipped around on the rebound and a foul inside against Michigan State. Wallenman with the personal foul. That's his first. 10th team foul, so Penn State with a pair of free throws here.
Watching right here, Payton just can't get it to go. But when you think about Michigan State, and we know they have 5 conference losses. 3 of them by single digits, 1 of them in overtime at Purdue. So even with those 5 conference losses, they were without Denzel Valentine for 4 games, Kevin, in the middle of the season. So if you look at it from a big picture standpoint, Michigan State could be close to undefeated at this point in the season, just the way that they're playing and able to overcome the loss of Denzel Valentine. And also, Denzel had a type of injury that has put other guys out for the season. He misses 4 games, so it says a lot about the toughness of this program.
A lot about what Denzel Valentine wanted out of this season. Bess with 4 to shoot inside. A lot of contact, no call. Jack had the rebound, lost it inside. Javon Bess to the rim. That won't go. And the rebound pulled out by Garner, looking to push. Garner going end to end. The scoop won't go, but a foul going to be called on Kyle Arns. Shep Garner with 18 points, but he's needed 17 field goal attempts to get those 18.
And that's what I've grown accustomed to seeing from Shep Garner, a high-volume guy. He's got to put up a lot of shots. Because Penn State, one of the lower scoring teams, the lowest scoring team in the Big Ten Conference. Second lowest, excuse me. Or did I say it right the first time?
You said it right the first time.
Okay.
They're the second lowest among all major conference teams and the lowest in the Big Ten.
That's right. So now so Shep Garner has to generate a lot of offense. He's got to put up a lot of jump.
His 3rd straight game of 20. As he's right at the 20-point mark with those free throws. Here's Wallenman. He'll put it on the deck, but blocked by Dickerson, and a foul is going to be called on the rebound.
Foul number 30, Van Dyke, his first.
Van Dyke with his first. So we march to the other end of the floor for free throws.
Scrum on the offensive rebound attempt. And Devin Foster.
Our Motel 6 6th man, 11 points, 4 assists today, and he's played hard.
He has. And he was the only one for a stretch in the first half that was scoring the basketball. He got to the rim a couple times. We saw him put his shoulder into the chest of Matt Costello to get another shot to drop.
Entry pass. Looking for Wallenman against Dickerson. Jump to Bess. Bess driving baseline into Dickerson. And a foul is going to be called on Jordan Dickerson, and that'll be his 5th personal foul. So Dickerson is out. Taylor is already fouled out. That's the foul that drives Jordan Dickerson from this game.
Javon Bess, the man that Came in pretty well recruited and has had some injury issues, and still expect him to have quite an impact before his season's all, or his career rather, is all said and done.
So Dickerson is scoreless for his third straight game, and from the category of really random statistics, he had been the first Division I 7-footer to go scoreless in 2 straight starts in the last 4 years in the college basketball ranks. DeShante Riley, 7-footer for Eastern Michigan, went scoreless in back-to-back starts in 2012. I do not know who the guy is in 3 straight starts, but that's what Jordan Dickerson has as he fouls out scoreless again.
You know, he's a guy that's a defender, rebounder, willing passer, just doesn't have a lot of confidence on the offensive end, and he doesn't get a lot of opportunities either.
Peyton Banks on the bounce inside looking for Julian Moore. We've seen him go to that right-hand hook a couple of times. Couldn't connect on that one. Slide under 5 minutes to play in this game. All Michigan State up 78-45. Here's Arms attacking the rim. Layup won't go. Rebound out of bounds to Penn State.
Donovan Jack looks like he took a shot there, trying to shake that off.
Don't forget, a doubleheader for women's basketball begins next. Michigan and Rutgers, Northwestern Nebraska to follow as we close out the Big Ten regular season with the tournament beckoning next week. Foster inside against Arns. That's not going to go. Rebound Wallenman.
Well, Arns did a good job defensively. I know Foster thinks that he could overpower him, but I remember Arns bench pressed 185 20 times as a freshman. Young man knows what weight room is.
If you're looking for yet another encouraging thing as Wallenman gets the bucket and the foul for Michigan State. But if you're looking for another encouraging thing, Stephen, extended minutes for the first time since the return from injury for Tum Nairn, and he doesn't appear worse for wear.
No, he doesn't. And it's important because he's going to be an integral part. Wallenman backs his way down and gets the opportunity here.
As Donovan Jack fouls out with his 5th personal foul. 3 Penn State players have fouled out of this game. Brandon Taylor, Jordan Dickerson, and now Donovan Jack.
Indicative of the kind of day it's been for Penn State. And that man, Tom Izzo, has to be pleased. He told us they wanted to work on the rebounding and they wanted to get on the glass. And they have.
Frustrating day for Penn State in so many regards. Their head coach Patrick Chambers was ejected after back-to-back technicals at the 4:53 mark in the first half. Last year he was teed up here at the Breslin Center in a tight ball game late, and in the post-game press conference had some less than complimentary things to say about how games coached by Patrick Chambers are officiated versus games coached by Tom Izzo and other blue bloods of college coaching. As the 3 is up and good from Peyton Banks. He's got 9.
Yeah, and I'm sure Patrick Chambers understands that we have some of the best officials in the business here in the Big Ten. But with that being said, he sees what he sees on the floor, and maybe he doesn't feel like his players are getting enough respect.
Jump ball. The possession arrow will give it to Penn State. And a timeout on the floor as Penn State still fighting with Peyton Banks. And Penn State shooting under 30% for the ball game. Tough to win on the road with that stacked against you.
Yeah, they, in their 3-game win streak, they shot the ball much better from three-point land. And Brandon Taylor's a non-factor for Penn State. It's going to be tough for them to win.
Banks with a high arcing 3, and Peyton Banks has been good from 3, 4 for 5 from behind the arc.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of the extra opportunities from long range here this afternoon.
41%, right where they've been in the 3-game winning streak from behind the arc. But unfortunately for Penn State, they've hit 8 two-point attempts in 33 shots from 2.
Not very good inside the arc area.
Arns on the drive, blocked away by Julian Moore, who pulls the ball out of the air. Goulas. Foster now backs it out to Garner. 14 to shoot. Deep 2 for Garner. Rattles home. Shep's got 22.
They got Arns moving one way and crossed him up, elevating to his jumper. See why he's such a volume scorer, because he can do it a lot of different ways. You've seen him shoot threes. He's gotten into the lane. Nice pull-up jumper.
It really doesn't look like, Stephen, that Michigan State's going to be your Big Ten regular season champion this year, but I can't imagine there's anyone in the Big Ten tournament or any other tournament that wants to see this Michigan State team come March.
Especially now if they get a double bye going into the Big Ten Conference tournament, so they have fresher legs and they can get through that gauntlet and playing like we talked about. I mean, they're on the same page, same accord, lead the country in assists. So everybody's pulling in the same direction.
Driving inside is Reeves, and Reeves is fouled on his way to the basket. Tonight's Duluth Trading hardest working player is Deontay Davis. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. His best game in the Big Ten this year, and 1 off his season and career high.
And add 3 blocks to that as well. Just a stalwart defensively, along with Costello on the front line. His maturation in this next month will say a lot about how far Michigan State can go in the tournament.
Reeves rattles that one down, 80-54, Michigan State.
We saw where Michigan State really put it on Ohio State in their last game. Heard about Jayshawn Tate tearing up his shoulder and out for the season. Tough break for Ohio State.
Reeves driving to the rim. Got there, but the foul is going to be called after the shot by Reeves. Like Van Dyke picks up his foul. And so headed to the free throw line is Julian Moore. You gotta like that if you're a Penn State fan, though, from Josh Reeves. His ability to create off the bounce. Something that, as you mentioned earlier, not a lot of guys on this team have, but Reeves has the athleticism and quickness to be able to get that done.
Yeah, and they're going to need him to do that down the stretch here if they want to avoid having him play on Wednesday. They want to get that double bye. Like you mentioned, their last couple of games, they have a chance against Northwestern and Illinois. They can win those games. They can be a first-round bye.
Well, remember what happened last year. Penn State got into the tournament, made a little noise there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
As Best knifes to the basket, and he'll go to the line.
DJ Newbill had an outstanding run in Chicago last year. Von Best, not worried about what the score is. He's trying to get game minutes under his belt.
Tough day today for Penn State. Shep Garner disappointed, obviously, with how this one's turned out.
Well, that shows you the competitiveness of student athletes in the Big Ten Conference. You don't think this means a lot, but no one wants to get beat like this. No one wants to get beat, period, Kevin, but they got pounded today by one of the hottest teams in the country.
Jumper up good, and a foul as Reeves will go to the line. Matt McQuaid with his 3rd personal foul.
Reeves takes the bump. Nice follow through. Lefties always have an advantage on the perimeter because you're not used to guarding them as much as you are the right-handed player.
McQuaid. Out it goes to Javon Best, the jumper wild, underneath his arms to follow it up.
Javon Best is going to swear that was a pass tomorrow in film.
Would you buy it if you were in the film room?
Of course not. But at least he'll try it. He'll say it anyway.
Final 30 seconds of this one. Michigan State wire to wire in this ball game.
Just an impressive showing by a team that did not care who they were playing today. They had a mission. get on the glass and get to the free throw line. They did both beautifully.
Plus 17 on the boards today for Michigan State. McQuaid, the bullet pass underneath the reverse. No! And a tip jam by Kyle Arns. The cherry on top for the Spartans.
Wow. All I can say is wow. Spartans had everything go their way today. Looked like Arns was